Hello, guys. Welcome back to 1878 Blues. This is Everton v Aston Villa, the match preview. Before we get into this video, if we can try and get 15 likes, that will be great. Tough game for Everton as usual. A big game for us in the context of our recent record against Aston Villa at Goodison Park. It's been horrendous since they returned to the top flight back in 2016, I think it was. Yeah, they haven't been beaten since. So, and we've had better squads in that time, and yeah, we're just gonna have to find Sean Dyche's gonna have to find the formula to beat Aston Villa, and I'm quite confident he can. If you obviously look at his first two home games at the club, we've beaten Arsenal and Leeds 1-0, defensively sound. We know what we are attacking wise. You know, our top goal scorer's got 3 goals, which is Damari Gray, and he can't even get in the team. So it just shows this rest of the season's just going to be tight, stressful in every match. Yeah, a real nail biter. But I think if you manage to pick up a win against Aston Villa at home, I think it's 3 home wins in a row. It just creates a bit of confidence and a bit of belief that we can get out of this. And you know, it's obviously not just down to the players or what it is, but it's not just, if they do this for us, it's us again, the fans pushing them through it, which is something, if we do stay up the season, I hope isn't a thing we have to do. We obviously will support them and push them all the way, and be on their side, but they need to give us something back. Um, and yeah, I think this game to me is, I mean, if you look at the next run of games coming up, we've got the likes of Arsenal away. Um, and yeah, just a few of the big games. Can't think of the top of my head, but yeah, it's a few away games to be honest. And this is, that's worries me, because I think if you go into them next games and we haven't beaten Aston Villa, because they can't take a draw, and it sounds greedy, but our home games are so important, and we need to pick as many points as we possibly can at home. And Aston Villa are beatable, as it's been proven a lot this season. Um, a very stop-start for Unai Emery. Um, Looking great one week and then looking terrible for the next couple of weeks. So hopefully they come out and they don't perform against Everton, because if they do, they should beat us, because they have got a better squad. They've got areas all over the pitch which are filled with some are decent players, okay, some are questionable, but they at least got a full squad in terms of they've got some strikers in there who are repetitively, I can't even say that word, who is always fit basically. As we've heard the news that Dominic Calvert-Lewin again is struggling. It blows my mind. It honestly blows my mind. How this guy can't keep fit and looks fine in a game, and then he comes off and you think everything's fine, and then you hear midweek that he's not fine, he's pulled something, he's done something. It's just ridiculous. And serious questions need to be asked if he has any place in the squad next season, because we can't rely on that any longer. It's becoming a real big issue at this club. Um, but it's down to the board for not tuning into that more and not realising. I think that just shows their involvement in the actual squad of players we have in the team. And I don't know if Frank Lampard, before he got sacked, had anything to say about this and go, we really need a striker. We can't rely on Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and bringing Mopé in, even though I think Mopé did against Leeds are brilliant. We're just pressing all the time, working hard. But we know he hasn't got a goal in him. He really doesn't. And if you're going to see Neil Mopé, who gets, Brighton just let him go, will be our star man forward in this team. It's just not going to happen. And I'm not saying we have the funds and we can't advertise ourselves as a club that you'd want to go to. We can't bring in these type of big strikers, and there's too much competition for players like that. And yeah, I just don't. I just think we could have got better than Neil Maupay. I think we could have took a bit more of a risk. But I think in recent times the club's trying to play it safe, just because of all the financial constraints and the way the club's going. Um, I think taking a risk, I think, is on the last of their minds. But and I think that's why they held it out as long as they could for Frank Lampard. And then it got to the point where there's like, no, we just look like we've got absolutely nothing. Bring Sean Dyche in, and Sean Dyche has kind of tightened the squad together in terms of on the pitch and off the pitch. Defensively better and just staying in games. And I wouldn't say we're getting battered every week by Frank Lampard, but we never looked like we was involved in the game. I think we was just holding out as much as possible before the other team um, basically beats us or scores a goal. So I think we stay in the game as long as possible, and we have some sort of identity with this group of players we have right now. Not the Everton identity, but identity to keep us up potentially. Um, but Aston Villa, we know they've got quality players. Coutinho's not really turned up off and on all the time, but he still has his moments. He probably has something in him to score against us as well, because obviously his connections with Liverpool. Ollie Watkins is in very good form, so he's the danger man to me. Buendía looking alright in some games and some he doesn't. They've got a decent amount of players, even Bailey as well. Like, he's a threat. They've got a lot of good players, Aston Villa, and they're gonna, with Unai Emery, I'm confident they will pick up a good run of form at some point. I just really hope it doesn't start with us, and I think we can frustrate them. Um, but yeah, I think someone needs to step up. I think Maupay needs to go. He really does, and I think this could be the type of game for him. Um, but yeah, I'll start at Maupay again, and obviously we have no choice. Ellis Sims, keep gradually bringing him on every game now to the end of the season. Just fill him with confidence. Don't put too much pressure on him. And yeah, it's basically the same lineup against against Leeds. That's what I'll go for. I think if it works, it works. Don't bother changing it. Don't bother changing the winning side. And yeah, my predictions for the game. I don't want to go with a 1-0 again, because I can't see having us 3 1-0s in a row at home. And it sounds mad because we don't score goals, but I think we're going to win 2-1. I'm going to say 2-1. And I get rinsed for this in work, because people say in work that we never win 2-1. I'm like, well, we have won 2-1. We won Southampton 2-1 away from home this season, but it's going to come to a point where we win 2-1. And they're Reds as well. And they, if I said 5-2 Midland, they'll go, that never happens. Well, it did. And they never conceded 5 at home in Anfield in the Champions League. So if that's a possibility, there's a more than a chance possibility that Everton are going to win a game 2-1. But yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out on the day. I think we'll know from the first 10-15 minutes how the game's going to go. I think that's going to be really important. But I would have said that as well with Lampard, and then how it goes. I don't know. I'm saying that because I'm used to how Everton are this season, but Sean Dyche has changed a bit of the mentality right now. So maybe it's not game over. If I look at it in 10-15 minutes in, if we're 1-0 down or we're just playing bad, should I have belief that Dyche can change things at half time instead of us coming out the same type of way? But yeah, we'll have a see. And just on further news as well, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that Everton and Liverpool have been fined for, and Everton and Leeds as well. I think it's just crazy. It's taking the passion out of the game. No one's punching their heads. No one's punching each other. No one's causing chaos with the fans. It's a bit of fight, and it shows. It's ruining the advertisement of the Premier League. I mean, how do you expect you to play with no emotion? Football is a highly emotional game, especially if you're in a situation like us where we're down at the bottom, pressure on us all the time. Yes, I could say some players don't care, blah blah blah, but at the end of the day, it's human emotions. You are a human being. If you're angry about something and you want to defend your teammates, you will, and you'll all collide and sort it out. But if you're punching each other's head, and if there's like assault going on a pitch, real bad assault, like threatening things, then yes, fine, fine the team, fine the club, whatever, fine everything. It's fine, but don't fine for stupid stuff like that. That's happened for years. Football's known. I mean, if it's just ridiculous. It's just mad they can't, conduct the teams properly on the field. Well, that's the referee job. That's the referee's job. So I don't know why the club's getting blamed for it. Humans are humans, and humans have humans emotion and have emotions, and that's it. But yeah, that I just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, I'll see us all then, and let's hope it's another home win for the Blues, and let's keep this momentum up and get out of this absolute rubble we're in.